Yo, what's up, guys? Here's another video. I think today's topic's gonna be something I've been thinking about, something that I've been pondering, right? You know what's kind of cool? People don't talk about schizophrenia. Now that's a cool thing, right? Now imagine, right? You're just some dude, right? You're just some dude, and you think like everyone's looking at you. You think like everyone's staring at you all the time. People are talking in your head. You're never lonely. You're never lonely. You have friends everywhere. They may not be real. You can't see them. But hey, it's kind of cool. Hey, you're talking to yourself, right? You're just completely talking to yourself. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Gerald? What's up, whatever? People might find you crazy. People might think that you're unhinged or whatever. But hey, it's kind of cool. Like, I got friends in here. Like, I got friends like physically, but also I have friends in here. I'm never lonely. So it's that's something I've been thinking about. How cool would that be? You're never lonely. You're never alone. And when you think you're alone, you're not. When you're going to bed at night and it's 12 o'clock at night, there's people talking to you. It's like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool, man. What's your advice on this? I mean, some guy walks into your room and it's just you're just talking to yourself and you're staring at the wall. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, that's it's not too bad. It's not too bad when you think about it. Man, I have lost a lot of weight, man. My God. I lost so much weight. But, yeah. Another thing I want to talk about, you guys might find this interesting. The few people who watch me, you might find this kind of interesting. I was thinking about kind of the world today, where the world is. My belly's showing a little bit. That's not appealing. But I think I mentioned this yesterday, but like the world is like, it's like destroyed, dude. It's is it repairable? I don't even know at this point. Like, can you like what do you do? Like, people are just screwed up. And it's absolutely terrible. If you really want like clarity, here's a cool tip for you. If you really want like, if you're ever stressed out or if you ever like want to clear your mind, here's a cool tip for you. When you wake up in the morning, don't go on your phone, don't go on your laptop, don't put the TV on. If you drink coffee or whatever, make yourself a cup of coffee and just sit down outside on your porch or something and just think. It is so meditating. It is so, in a way, it's so like, how can I say it? Like, yeah, it's meditating. I don't know. You kind of it's peaceful, right? I was thinking about that and I was like, damn, like, you can find peace. You can easily find peace if you really look for it. But everything is like chaotic. Everything is like straight up just chaos, man. There's like no order. Like, where is the order? Where is the peace? Where can you find like, except, what I just mentioned before, like where can you find like actual peace and everything? My God, man. I kind of find peace doing this, though. I mean, it is meditating. I am not using that word correctly. If anyone in the comments, if anyone's watching this in the comments, tell me if I'm using that word correctly. I don't even think that's a word. But yeah. Another thing, too, is, I was on Indeed.com, and there is this job on Indeed where you teach people, like, stick shift for cars. Like, if you have a manual and you don't know how to drive it, basically there's a company in which people come out, they meet you at a location. You, if you have a car that's a beater or something that, it's stick shift, they go in your car, you teach them and everything. That's an art that is lost nowadays, is learning manual, is learning like stick shift. And it's so sad, man. Like, what did I read? Like, I'm gonna butcher the statistic, but I think it's like what, like 94% of all cars are automatic nowadays or something. You literally pay more money to make your car manual if you buy a car. That's like crazy to me for some reason. I don't know why. Like, you buy a car and it's like the option is to make like a 6-speed manual, right? And it's extra money. It's like, dude, are you nuts, man? And I came across that job and I was actually kind of like, as corny as it is, it's kind of like a light, kind of like a bright light. It's kind of like, hey, man, like the art is not lost. There's people who think like me who like don't want to see that go away. And for me, I drive like a crappy car. It's a 2004 Mitsubishi Eclipse GT V6. It's manual, and the reason I really bought it was just cheap. It was super cheap, but also I wanted to learn manual. And I didn't want to buy a nice car and destroy the clutch in it. So, but like learning something like that, as simple as it was like a beautiful thing. Like realizing you're getting good at it. I think the really hard part is when you're on a hill and you're parked, basically you're stuck on a hill, there's traffic or whatever, and you have to push into first gear and feather edge the clutch and stuff like that on a hill, because you end up rolling backwards a little bit. But yeah, that's like an art that's lost, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, look, like 94% of all cars, that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Man, I am looking skinny. Holy crap, man. I look like a 2x4. Holy snap. That's what happens when you don't work out in a while. You end up looking like a 2x4. You go to Lowe's, right? You go to Lowe's and you pick up a plank of wood. That's what I look like right now. God damn, dude. Yeah, here's another thing I was thinking about too. I kind of talked about this yesterday, but when it comes to like religion, I'll talk to you something about that. No matter where you are in life, like I said yesterday, it's always good to believe in something that's not yourself. Don't put yourself up on a pedestal. Don't put yourself up above everyone else. It's not a good mindset to have, to think that you're better than everyone else. It's a very toxic mindset. It's a very bad mindset to have. Because, like they say, pride comes before the fall. Every single time. No matter what it is, if you're too prideful, you're going to fall. I mean, that's where, Lucifer is, right? He's in hell because he believed that he could become God. And he thought, at the time, when God created humans, God told the angels basically that, you have to love this creation as I love this creation. Because and Lucifer was basically saying to himself, why should I love something that's not as perfect as me? And the anger built up, and, there's a couple other things that happened. And that's why he fell, right? And, it's a very interesting thing to learn, because you see it with a lot of people, right? A lot of people, they get very prideful. They get very they become all about them. Everything is about them. And I bet everyone here listening has had people like that, right? Where it's like their whole life is just about them, whether it's friends or family or coworkers or your boss or whatever. Whenever they talk, whenever they communicate with you, it's literally about them every single time. And that drives me insane. You cannot do not be friends with someone like that. It's absolutely like maddening to to talk to somebody, and it's like you're telling them about how you got into a horrific car crash, and they're thinking to themselves, yeah, man, I understand what you're saying, but did you hear about this? Did you hear about me doing this? And it's like, wow, dude, thanks. Like, you're a good pal. You're a good pal. I just talked for 5 minutes about how I almost, killed myself in a car crash, and now you're talking about how you rolled a perfect 300 in bowling. Awesome, man. Yeah, I think you don't be prideful. Don't be too prideful, and that's something with like a lot of fitness influencers too. Is that they it becomes too much about them. It becomes everything's about them working out, about whatever it is. And do you feel good watching that? Like, if you're some random dude, do you feel good watching that where someone's like talking all about like, you know, whatever, how they got where they were and stuff like that? And I don't mean in the sense of like them trying to like tell you their ups and downs about life. I mean them like just straight up looking at the camera and being like, this is me. I'm good at this. I'm amazing. I'm number one. It's like, dude, you're you're a fucking goober. You're a fucking you're a fucking goober, dude. You're a goofy goober, man. It's not a good mindset to have. Man, this basement gets freaking warm. Holy crap. My God. Yeah, I mean, I gotta boost up my vocabulary, man. I feel like I'm very repetitive the way I talk. It's not good. It's a sign of a low IQ. If you repeat words a lot and you don't have like a strong vocabulary, it's a sign of low IQ. That's not good. That's not good. I was watching this one guy. I have a bunch of respect for this dude, and I give credit to anybody that does this type of like work. You could say work, but it's more them just out making videos, right? But there's a guy. His last name I think is like Bowling, Bowling. I think that's what it is. Like literally bowling, like the sport, right? And he's like a street preacher. He like preaches the gospel and stuff like that. And I give like major respect to people like that. And in a lot of these videos that I see, the people that confront him and the people that, try to take away his mic or his whatever, his boom box that he connects the mic to. Just look at these people, man. These people are just broken. They're just destroyed people. It's so sad to see this, man. And there's so many of them. There's so many of them. Of people that they're just backwards. They're the positive mindset within them is non-existent. It's like I'm gonna be the most sinful MFer alive, and I'm going to show it by the way I look and the way I act. And these people are just repulsive. They're terrible people. So I give major respect to like someone like I think his name is Daniel Bowling. Maybe is that a comedian? Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. I might be thinking about someone else. I might be thinking about this guy who does like these funny videos online. I think he lives in Spain. What's the guy's name? I don't know. It doesn't freaking matter. Just look up Street Preacher YouTube on YouTube. But yeah, it's not a positive world in which we live in. It's not positive. It's very negative. You have to look for the light. You have to look for something positive. Um, I think that'll get back to my other point that I've said this before, but getting good at something. I'm not going to dwell too much on this. I talk about this a lot, but like I said, you gotta get good at something. You gotta put your everything into something. Something wholesome, good. Don't take this advice to heart and become like a heroin addict and do drugs. Like, hey, I'm really good at doing drugs. It's like, oh, great, dude. Like, that's the opposite of what I'm saying. And it's that's probably one of the biggest pieces of advice is that you just gotta become good at something, man. You got to. But like I said before, schizophrenia is kind of cool. It's kind of it's kind of dope. It's kind of you sit in the classroom, right, and you think everyone's staring at you all the time. It's like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. Of course you're gonna stare at me. It might be all in my head, but hey, perception is reality, right? So that's the way I think about it. I don't know how you think about it. That's how I think about it. How long is this video going? Man, 16 minutes. Holy. Yeah. What's one other thing I can leave off on today? I guess another thing I could talk about is something I think about too is finding a good partner, no matter who you are. I know nowadays and everything you have like the whole like MGTOW movement and people, men going their own way, and you watch these videos like Fresh and Fit and the whatever podcast, and these women are just they are just like they're like clones. They're like like they're like in Star Wars. It's like they're clones, dude. They're all the same. They all dress the same. Their mannerisms are the same. They think the same. Their intelligence level is the same. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is that there is good women out there in which that you can meet, you can mingle with, and you can create a relationship with. That's something that's huge. That if you have someone that truly loves you, someone that truly cares for you. What's the quote? I think the quote was something that really stuck with me is that what love really is between a man and a woman, is you trying to extract the good out of your partner and make them the best version of themselves out of that good. And that's something that's huge. If you're in a relationship at all, that's something you should think about. Whoever you're dating, find out what they're good at, the good parts about them, extract that good, and make them the best versions of themselves out of that good. And it might be difficult, it might be whatever, but the partner in which you do that to will appreciate it. They will appreciate it. They will definitely take that to heart. And don't screw around. Don't screw around. Don't. It's a gross world in which we live in which the average girl you probably meet on the street has like 10 bodies, has like 15 bodies, whatever. It's not good. It's not something you brag about. I see that too, by the way. Women will brag about this. They will brag about it, and they will think it's like some like good play to like talk about it. It's like, dude, you're just a gross, goofy mofo. And there's no class. There's no class, and that's with people in general. There's no class. I know I swear, but man, you talk to the average dude nowadays, and they swear like crazy, man. They're like sailors. They're like construction workers. They swear like crazy. You don't want that. You don't want to come home to a woman who's like, "How was your effing day?" It was like, "Oh, it was great up until now." Yeah, it was great up until now. Really, really good up until now before I saw your effing face and you using vulgar language. It's really cool, man. Find a girl with class. That's probably the thing I'm trying to say. Find a girl with a moderate amount of class. Something that, if you bring her home to, your parents, she's not going to swear in front of your parents. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And don't date girls that are promiscuous. Don't date girls that are complete whats. Like you're just wasting your time. Like, yeah, it's an easy lay, but you're just wasting your time. Like, what, you're gonna marry the girl, dude? You're gonna marry the girl that slept with like 50 guys. You're gonna marry her, dude. You're gonna come home to her and be like, man, that's my woman. That's the girl I married. Yeah, great. You can't tell me that's not in the back of your mind all the time when seeing her. Like, hey, this girl, like, her past is completely effed up. She went on like 80 vacations and like she went on like 40 different yachts. Then you go on Instagram and this girl is like, every picture is like a booty picture. It's like, dude, you're just the average W word, dude. You're just the average S word. Like, not good. Like, stop wasting your time, dude. Like, you're just a clown. I love her, man. She's the woman of my dreams. Dude, you should become homeless and like, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, it's not a good look, man. And I see this on YouTube a lot and stuff like that with guys like with a lot of money. They date these. They're pretty girls, right? But these girls look like complete utter pieces of trash. And these guys like make these quirky videos. These guys who are complete effing pusses, by the way. A lot of them, complete effing. All they have is money. All they have is money. Have you noticed that a lot of these guys who act big, all they have is effing money. There's nothing else about them. It's all money, dude. They don't actually have like actual like talents or anything. It's like, I invested into a couple of companies and I have a lot of money. It's like, dude, you're like the eighth guy I've seen with like a Lamborghini. Yeah, that's something I've observed is like, man, like people are like insane. People are, they, you don't, that lifestyle wears off very quickly, by the way. The lifestyle in which you get rich and you buy nice things and everything, that happiness wears off so quickly. It's so, what's the word? It's so like, it's so quick. I've got the word for it. Temporary. It's so temporary. And that it may not make sense coming from a person like me who doesn't have like any money at all, but you can observe stuff like that and you can come to your own conclusions. Like, these people aren't happy. They're not, like, what happens to these people who have a lot of money? They end up being very unhappy. Unless they have like goals in life and hobbies and everything, they become very unhappy. Yeah, you have a McLaren and like a 1964 Mustang or whatever. That's all pimped out, but like, are you actually happy? Like, do you wake up in the morning and you're actually like, content with who you are? Like, I doubt it, dude. You're just a monkey. You're just an ape in a zoo. You're in a glass box. You're in a glass box. It's don't make your life money. Don't make your life money. Don't. Like, if you make your life money, every single time you're gonna be unhappy. 100%. Money is just paper. It means nothing. And not only that, but the currency is dwindled so much that it means literally nothing. Like, what was I reading? Pennies cost more to make than they actually are worth. Quarters don't actually have any currency to them at all. They used to be silver or whatever. If the world collapsed, right, and all you had was a bunch of money, what are you going to do? You're going to start a fire? You're going to burn it? Yeah, what are you going to do with your nice cars? You're going to drive them until the gas runs out? You know, what do you plan on doing, dude? Just trying to help here. Just trying to give you an abject. I hope I'm using that word correctly. Abject mindset in which that you can observe and you can understand that a lot of the stuff that you cherish, a lot of the stuff that you you look upon and you love, a lot of this stuff means absolutely nothing. That's where religion comes in again. Religion and God is the only thing that truly matters in life. And you will come to that conclusion at one point. It might not be next year, it might not be in 20 years, it might not be in 30 years. But one day you will wake up and you will realize what you have means nothing if you don't believe in something, if you don't have God by your side. In this world, God's the only thing that matters. It's the eternal truth, it's everything. It's the only eternal happiness, the eternal peace is knowing God is by your side and knowing He's there for you. Because when money fades, when fame fades, when your car gets busted down, when you get into a wreck and you can't afford to fix it, what do you have? If you don't have God, you got nothing. You have nothing. If you lose everything, at least you have God. At least you know something tangible. At least you know that there was something out there that was looking down upon you and wishing you the best. There was an old quote in the Bible where it said that, I'm going to butcher this, but I think it comes to, the quote was supposed to be about the best type of life, the way you grow the most is if you learn about the Bible and you preach the gospel and you know that God is there for you. The quote was something like, a tree is best planted near a river. And that is something that's so true, that if you continuously learn about God and the Bible and everything, you will live a happy life. You will. Like, you can argue with me all you want, but it doesn't mean anything because you know it's the truth. You know that that's eternal happiness. That is the, you might not know this, but that's a world in which you want to live in. How long is this video? So I'm going to go probably for like 30 minutes. I got to pee. Oh my God, man. My God. I'm going to show anyone out there, if you take pine pollen and like Tonga Ali and stuff like that, man, it makes you pee like crazy, dude. Holy snap. I'm going to burn a hole through that toilet upstairs in a second. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the last thing I'll leave off on is that, if you watch people, watch what they believe in, watch if they're atheists or whatever, what you believe reflects on how you live. And people who believe in nothing, people who are atheists, people who don't see the light, they become demons. They become monsters. They become a perverted version of themselves, a degraded version of themselves. You don't want to become like that. Those people aren't happy. The happiest people I know are people who go to church, people who believe in God, believe in something higher. Every single time. You can't argue with me about that. Every single time they are. They are the most motivated. They are the most healthy usually. They are the most they can look into things deeper. They can, a lot of people think on a surface level a lot. And that's a lot of atheists and everything. They think on a surface level. They think how can there be a God if I can prove this, I can prove that, we're not perfect or whatever. Why would you want to live like that? Why would you want to live in a world in which, like, there's nothing after death? You believe in nothing. Like, you just think that you're God and you're the greatest there things since sliced bread. You don't want to live like that. It's not a good way to live. Oh, man, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, God, man, I lost a lot of weight, dude. Oh, my God, dude. Holy snap, man. Man, my lats used to be so much bigger, man. God damn. Man, I should not be this skinny at like almost 6'3", man. Oh my God. Lord help me. Lord help me. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm going to end the video today. Um, if you have any free time at all, I would just go online and read the Bible, or read like watch a video where someone's reading the Bible to you. It helps a lot. If you're stressed or anything, it helps a lot. If you're depressed, it helps a lot. Either way, I'm gonna get going. Have a good one. I wish you the best and stay healthy.